I have been lost. I have been looking for myself. I feel a little rusty. I feel like what is this place? This looks interesting. This cocksucker. It's about time I took over the office. I deserve this. I deserve this. It's about time I took over the office. I'm taking over, man. I'm gonna take this fucking chair. Feels good. Feels good. I'm gonna take this chair. I think I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna just spend the rest of my days here in this chair. Why not? Well, my friends, welcome to the desk. This is I, Bobby Axelford. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at this monitor is so bright. I need to do something about that. Birds singing out in the air. Can you hear that? Of course you can't. Bulletproof, soundproof, and everything. You know. I'm gonna go get my coffee. And magically, we're back in this seat. Don't add me about the graphics. RTX is off. I can't afford one of those cards. Bitcoin is down. Portfolio value is down. Everything is down. So no RTX for you guys. Allow me to formally welcome you to the desk. We have officially taken over the premises, as you can see. And we're going to be setting up shop here in this beautiful, glorious office. I'm just gonna call it the office or the desk. I don't know. I feel like the desk is more appropriate because that's all you see. Bitcoin has been very obedient recently in terms of price action. And this is our second stream, ladies and gentlemen, second live stream in since forever. But this time we're going to be doing a few things. So first and foremost, there's going to be a giveaway, $1,000 on this latest pump up. As you know, I was short the bottom. No problem. I managed well. Lost about $6 on that trade. Made over $1,000 on the recovery to current price levels on Bitcoin. And I decided, since, you know, in the last stream we talked about how things have been going really well overall, trading wise, I decided to give away my profits. And so this little run up courtesy of Bitcoin is yours for the taking. We're going to be doing a little shuffle. It'll be a random person receiving $1,000, or maybe in the future we'll I don't know, make do away with bigger prizes and then split them up between people. Now, fortunately, I wish I could give away a lot more to each and every person in the platoon, but this is going to be the first experimental sort of lottery here on the channel, and you guys are welcome to participate in it. Now, lucky for yous, there are not a lot of people in the group. So what that means is that your chances of getting this giveaway is very, very high. You're literally competing against less than 100 people. So that's pretty cool. And we're going to do this often. This is not the first and the last time we're going to do something like this. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So here's the condition. The condition is very simple. First, by the way, that guy over there, that's me and Warren Buffett, in case you didn't know. Yeah, we do it like that. So what we're going to be doing is, to enter this giveaway, you have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. Be a subscriber to Twitch if you're on Twitch. And by subscribing, I mean no money involved. Just follow, subscribe, as in you know, get the notifications every once in a while. Because I'm really horrible with that, and this will help a lot of people stay up to date. Second, thank you, Drew NYC Beast, the Beast, the one and only. Love you, my man. Keep up the good vibes. The vibes are very healing all the time, every time. But yeah, thank you. You guys are welcome to join the office. There's plenty of space here for everyone. But the giveaway is basically you leaving a comment down below this stream. Anything you like. You have to be a MarketSpy user. Hey, I know. But that's the kind of privilege. That's the club privilege, if you know what I mean. You get it with being a spy. So you have to be a MarketSpy user. You have to leave a comment down below this video. If you like it, if you don't like it, I don't care what the comment is, anything. Just to help the algorithm spread the word about the office. And then you also have to have, that's the tricky part, you also have to have an account with Bybit using our partner link, which is down below in the description as well. Now, if you have all those things, I'll be looking through the comments. Along with your message, leave your Bybit ID so we can verify that it is indeed you. You say it's you, we need to know it's you. And that's all. Basically, that is all that you need to participate in this giveaway. So moving on. Beautiful. So subscribe, leave a comment, and leave me your Bybit ID to verify that you're a part of the club. You're part of the Spartans here. And we're gonna go to the next episode here. We're gonna look at the charts. There's a very simple, beautiful setup on Bitcoin that's shaping up to be a very easy transition to the next profitable trade that I'm seeing, and I'm going to be a part of it. And so if you want to, you can be part of that too. But for now, besides the desk and the office, we also have the pit. And the pit, ladies and gentlemen, is the place where we're streaming from right now. Okay, this is called the pit, and we're gonna take you there. And I'm gonna share a little. This amazing little thing that I have discovered. That is just going to blow your freaking mind away, and it's so useful. It's a little utility. I feel like, you know, I feel like chilling through the first 30 minutes of this stream and just sharing some of the things that I have been coming up with and discovering. And what I have discovered is a well, let me just show you. Let's jump over to the pit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is as simple as that. We're now live broadcasting from the pit pirate radio station. Why is it broadcasting? We have like 8 people in the stream. It should be called narrowcasting. Nothing broad about it. But check this out. The pits are a more brutal, lawless, and smaller version of the arena where shamed men We have all been shamed at some point. Stopped out, liquidated, taken advantage of by the exchanges. And we fight for the gains. Or we get put to death. It is the equivalent of a modern underground fighting ring where there are few rules and no honor. And I am your host. So this is the pit, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we will be doing our analysis most of the time. I hope you like it. This setup is, it's gonna give you that wide, extra wide scope view that you can enjoy. But I feel like every exchange is like an arena, is like a pit where only the strong survive. The people who play chess well stay one move ahead. I feel like the analogy here is on point. Like, check this out. The Spartacus versus MEXC. BitMEX. So Spartacus's first fight in the pit is against MEXC, an established and popular fighter in the pit who, like, anxiety, wears a mask to hide his face. This is all coming together now. Spartacus receives brass knuckles and MEXC fights with spiked knuckles. Death wicks. Although MEXC initially has the upper hand, Spartacus takes the offensive and beats MEXC with his own spiked knuckles by grabbing his arm and repeatedly making him punch himself in the face. To finish the job, he grabs a hook that is hanging from the ceiling and forces it up into MEXC's head through his neck. That's some Mortal Kombat type of shit here. This is brutal. Wow. That is amazing. Okay, so this is what it's all about. You're in the pit, ladies and gentlemen. Get it right. You're in the pit at all times when you're trading. So speaking of trading, let's just jump right back into it. Slightly disappointing performance from MSX. I'm not going to lie. Over here, where I was expecting this to go slightly lower down to this green line over here. So we had a triangle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make this very simple. We need to make it very simple. And right off the bat, I'll tell you that we literally have no choice. For all the people that are wondering how or what the play is here, confusing. Are we continuing? Are we going up? Are we going right back down to where the initial impulse happened? Are we going back inside of this triangle? I have identified for myself let's get a little zoomed in on this. So I have identified a wedge pattern over here, right? And for people that are wondering if this is the right way to do things or whatever, you know, what I mean is, could you connect these two and draw it like this? And say that if we break this, you know, it's over. This is the actual wedge here. This was a fake out. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Can we connect it like this and say it's a much broader structure and there's one more low retest here? See, there's no way to actually draw this correctly, professionally, so to say. It's whatever you think the pattern is, and what's driving the price is other people looking at it. Now, looking at the volume analysis here, right, we can see that this breakout, this initial rise above this grind line here, was supported by relative strength in volume. As a matter of fact, these latest spikes over here at the top, sure, we know that this is when the exhaustion comes in, and sure as hell there's another one right here, and now it's going sideways. This is telling me that there's aggressive participation and interest in Bitcoin to see more upside potential here. The recovery from this breakout would lead us back to the retest of about 48k, closer to 50. So that's the bottom neckline, and we should be able to get ourselves very, very close to the top of this range. I'm not saying we're gonna hit the ceiling right on the T at 48.9, but this blue box basically is a long setup and a potential retest we want to see Bitcoin go to. So this breakout here, to me, I like the way I have painted this. Okay, you may have your own convictions about how you want this to be set up, but for me, I feel like this is a prime example of a willing breakout, so to say, a decisive move above the grind line, which has been suppressing this price action sideways. So now finally, I told you that, you know, I've been gone since about the median line around here. Okay, so there were a couple of good trades here, but it's all been sideways, and now Bitcoin has chosen a direction, and I think it's very easy to understand. By the way, I have been trading in the last few days, like this whole move up. You can see my closed P&Ls right here. Unfortunately, by the time I wake up, Bybit resets my daily realized P&L at about 8 a.m. local time. But yeah, we're grinding up. We're grinding up. There's a risk pain right here. Started with 0.5 as usual. This is my starting point. You guys already know this. It's been like this for ages. But it's up by 0.068. So it's good. We're gonna keep grinding this up to about 1, and you'll be able to monitor progress through the pit right here live during these streams. Here's what's going to happen. It's very simple in terms of Bitcoin price action analysis and where can we expect. So I think like this area right here. So we have a little tiny bull flag right now with a little fake out. It's not complete, but it's going to be dancing around these areas. And I think if we do come back down to this area between 39 to 37, I think that's a buy. And so I have a ladder cast in here, and I'm going to keep it open for a few days. Just because we literally, this is the easiest setup ever. If this is a breakout, now think about it. What's the magic sauce here? What can we potentially do to get that perfect entry in now that we have a confirmed setup? And no, it's not too late. It's not too late. We just had a breakout. It's not like, oh, it's over. I could not get in here. I could not get in here. No, we just had a breakout, and now we should float above this point and go higher, technically, okay? Unless Elon Musk, forget that guy. Anyways, so to me, this is one of the simplest, most cleanest setups that I have ever seen in Bitcoin. After the initial bottoming here, reaccumulation, we have no choice but to treat this as a breakout and a continuation trade. So the bias here, as you can see, this is the time when I flip the chart into normal mode. Usually I have it flipped upside down when I'm feeling extremely bearish, and I refuse to switch unless we have signs of life. And I feel like this is the time that Bitcoin is showing us hints that it wants to go higher. And so anything below here, it might not even come back there, but I want to be long, and I'm going to be going about 3 to 4x leverage based on the conviction level, on the confidence here. So I think it might actually bleed out a little bit. If it does, I want to be a buyer in this area, because that would be retesting the cap just about here. And I think it's going to rest on this platform a little bit before making a another leg up. Why is this so simple, and why are we talking about changing bias here? So as you know, bias can change every second, every minute or so. You can have a new feeling about price action and act accordingly. But I think the majority of traders and algorithms are looking at evidence that is very clear that this is an upside potential trade, and that any dip now is a confident buying opportunity. What happens? Throw me a counter here. Tell me, ask me a question about what happens if this goes down here and breaks back inside of this range. What happens then? Invalidation, fake out, what? I tell you what, you take the freaking loss, or you manage your trade. You don't go crazy leverage here, and you average it out and close it inside of this box at a minimum loss. And the reason you want to be doing that, now this right here, when I went short, literally the minute I went short and ended the live stream a few days ago, it started going up. As soon as it broke this cap over here on lower time frames, on the 5 there, I took the loss. It went up, and I basically made more than enough. And this is what I'm giving away in today's live stream. If you're interested, $1,000, never hurt nobody. And so, like I said, if we're looking at a setup like this, right, and we think that, okay, we had a dip here, it was bought, swift recovery, El Salvador, could not go lower than this box over here. Then whatever happens here in this during this accumulation period is irrelevant. Do I want to go long in? Right, actually, if I go long now, I know I'm going to be sitting underwater for a few days. Maybe a daily ATR value, one candle down, maybe half of it, about there. I think that there's a potential for an HC play from here down to this box. So that's what I'm aiming at. And I want to be a buyer in this area. So that this little flag might actually break out and take us higher. It's fine. Spot buying is probably, as you know, when Bitcoin is going higher in value, it's more desirable. It's more people want to invest in it. When it's falling down, it's usually they tell us to buy the dip, but you know, the dip is a tricky thing because you don't know if the market has cooled off and you know there's enough fear in the market and people are just freaking out, or have we gotten rid of all the people that have been buying the dips at these levels over here and failing? Although, you know, every little leg down here was a profitable trade if you were buying it. I know it doesn't look like it, but you know, capturing a candle like this or two, usually that's what the aim is. It's really nice. So every few candles here, you have a buying opportunity, and I think this is no different. I think we're going to go sideways now. I am a little rusty. Okay, but this is not a difficult technical analysis situation here because we have a clear consolidation breakout backed by relative volume. It's decent. It's like that accumulation volume, and we haven't really seen a volume spike, which means we haven't really seen the top on this initial move. we're going to be enjoying a continuous price appreciation of Bitcoin in the coming weeks, I believe. What else? So what if this thing goes up, does whatever it does, fails, and comes back down here? Well, I'm still buying. I'm still buying above this grind line. Shorting for me is over. I know this could be a bear rally. We could very well be in a bear market, but based on price action, without speculating too much, I think what we're looking at here is a steady recovery back to mid 40s, high 40s or thereabouts. So just about here. I do believe that we had a head and shoulder pattern that played out quite nicely here. It was a very complex structure-wise head and shoulder pattern. I also do believe that we have extended all the way to the target area just about here, and I think that there's a potential now for this to go back to maybe 37, 36 again. If that's the case, I want to be buying it, and there's going to be a retest of this area potentially, and that's where I'm going to be getting rid of Bitcoin, maybe once again. So very simple analysis. I think it's one of the cleanest charts that I have seen. Now that we've had this decisive breakout, usually if followed by a bull flag like this, it has the potential to fail, go back down. Very low volume sideways action, and then it'll be on its way once again. So that's all we're looking at in terms of what I'm expecting. And with Bybit Pro, you cast the ladder here, accumulate, and off you go. We have the initial blue wave over here. That's tsunami-ish, and it has the potential. Given the long-term trend flow has started to shift over, and we've been in the red for a while. So this little base here, I think we see some recovery attempts, white cracks in the shell over here, and it's finally come up to the green. I think we might have one more sneeze over here, and then off we go. I think this is going to hold it. It's going to stay in the green. There's money. And both of them are in confluence. Long-term, short-term, the tsunami wave, and we have lightning, just slightly divergent over here. But like I said, this divergence is what is going to give me an opportunity to buy in, hopefully. Also, I'm not trying to buy in right at this point right now, following a breakout. I am looking at this spinning doji top as a potential rejection. So hoping that it dips, okay, goes sideways, dips, and in the next few days, this is basically going to be the trade. It's not going to be multiple trades back to back. Maybe on lower time frames we're going to look, but this is an 8-hour chart. So by the time we're done with this stream, we're going to be Ray Tesla. You're always welcome. One love. Jess Alira, welcome to the club. MarketSpy is the weapon of choice. You already know that. Just take your time with it and be, what was I going to say? Be pragmatic about it, right? Do not jump on signals. Now, in terms of, yeah, so 8 hours, ladies and gentlemen, 8 hours. I don't know. This is, we're going to come back here tomorrow and it's still going to look the same. We're going to stream tomorrow at the same time. It's going to look the same. So slight recovery, just hanging on to the white line. This is the value line, all right? Bitcoin is appreciating in value. If it goes up above this value line, we will see a potential. So here's an example, right? Held above it, dropped back down, retest, and off we went. Another retest. This was actually a little scary. It's never perfect. MarketSpy, we cannot have moving averages or what have you, lines that are perfect. It doesn't matter if you use the moving average or you draw your own. there's still going to be some offsetting to do. It's not perfect. So for example, from here to here, nice little bottom, right? But from here to here, things are not lining up. So for people with OCD, trading is hell, because they're trying to perfect these lines to make sure that they're aligned and they have to look beautiful, and that's the problem. Actually, if you have an issue where things bother you, like if there's something that's off, I believe trading is not going to be an easy journey for you. So just as a personal advice, you know, find out early before you lose everything. Make sure that you are comfortable not giving a flying crow about anything when it comes to charts. Don't be a perfectionist. It's all rigged. It's all algorithms, and they don't care. It doesn't have to line up. So these triangles, when you paint them, you can literally go like this, and just get a visual representation of what it is that you're looking at. And when you see little overshoots like this, and you're like, oh, the base is broken, that means it's a short, full candle close, right? Usually when that happens, the reason why in trading we say we need to have a retest is that when it goes back up, slams against it and fails and grinds lower and rejects, now below this low you can go short because it's likely to go lower. All right, and unfortunately your entry would be somewhere around here and not around here, because that would mean that if it recovers and does not get rejected, so meaning you have no confirmation, it has the potential to do this. It has the potential to go up, then rest against that base, and then go up again, rest against the next base and go up again. So infinite number of possibilities there. Beautiful stuff. So it doesn't really matter. Perfectionism, you know, throw it out the window. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should be a guiding sort of line to give you an idea. So back to Armageddon, if we turn this on and we take a look at a few markings here, we can see that it's not always precise, and the market will ultimately decide if it's so Bitcoin was here, started to recover, and then it came back down, started to recover against the line. This line is almost horizontally perfect, straight. But if it fails here again, you have to understand that this baseline reclaim, this retest, and a second retest over here, were all good trade setups, and a second retest. Now I think if it goes down here again, if we see red, that's going to bring us back down against these lows for sure. So in that situation, you simply manage your risk. You cut the trade and say, well, it did not hold. So what choice do we have here? What kind of guessing and speculation can we potentially do in order to get a perfect entry, perfect trade? We don't have that power. We don't know. To the best of my knowledge, you do your best based on what you see here. So I have one flag here, second flag here. We're definitely going to retest this, and then we might have another leg up, and I'm expecting it to go and retest this ceiling over here. Might take some time. If it fails and it goes in the red, it's going to take a while, and we're back to the bear mode, simply because as you can see, when the red transitions over here, for example, we had a short signal here, short signal here, short signal here. Prior to that, short signal here on the pyramid below the baseline. White X, stay away from these. That means it's going to be lots of chop volatility, as you can see. Meat grinder right here. White X's are the kind of things that, you know, I'd rather skip it than trade it and wait for it to be over. So if it pushes down, then it's likely to continue. If the White X recovers, then I think it's a failed so it marks the volatility. Volatility is bi-directional. You can go up or down. Everyone is freaking out at that point, so that's how you get them. But in this case, to capture one fat candle like this on an 8-hour, 15-hour chart, I think is more than enough to have a satisfying trade. And so we just need to figure out what the next trade is here. And I think a little dip. Let's wait another 8 hours or so and see if we can accumulate a little bit. I had about 3 trades back to back in this range in the candle here and 2 little candles on top. And that's done with, and now we're ranging sideways. What I'm seeing is a tiny little bull flag on lower time frames. It's extremely choppy, but you know, if you're casting your buy orders here on the pyramids, you're getting good $100, $200 pumps right away. So if you have that kind of time, yeah, you can certainly sit and hyper focus on the actual signals and benefit greatly. But for me, I have just moved to a new place. Been a lot of setting up here, lots of work. Plus the desk and the pit, that took a little bit of time. I've had some help, but I think we're the best looking live stream in the world right now when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Clean! Shiny! You guys are awesome. David McAlorum, I'm happy to see you too. Welcome to the stream. So yeah. So look at this. We have a couple of shorty signals over here. There's a strong recovery over here. We're in the green, so I'm trying not to pay attention too much on it. Long-term trend flow is still holding its own here, and we see some curvature here. So I don't know. I want to be buying here. I want this. If this breaks down, I want to be buying it. But there's a chance that it might actually recover and then get slammed back down again to this area and then go lower. And you know, let's wait for that. Let's wait for that and scoop up the best price for Bitcoin, since we're in the recovery mode and also rediscovery mode. The market would want to see how far can it go. Paul Tudor Jones, welcome to the club. And you know, he's been in Bitcoin for a little while. That guy's amazing. Out of all the institutional players, I think he's my favorite in terms of how he thinks, the way he trades, and the way, you know, you should check out his documentaries on YouTube. There's a limited edition documentary that's floating around, and it's about, I think I shared it on our Discord also, but he's sitting there with like Nikes in the office, broke as hell, right, way before the billions, and he's aggressively like slamming, talking about shorting. He doesn't want to short ever. So if he's long on Bitcoin, you better believe that we're going to have that recovery. Paul Tudor Jones is never short. If you watch that documentary, you will see that he's talking about never ever shorting any of the assets that he gets in. Yeah, he might sell them if they're not going, you know, if the recovery is not as strong, if it's not performing as expected. Hold period 1, 2, 3 months. It should be clear if Bitcoin is going to recover or not. In our case, we try to follow in the footsteps of the legends, and Paul Tudor Jones is one of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. Alex, for real, welcome to the stream. Guess who's back? Okay, but the TA here is very simple. We don't want to overcomplicate things. I think it's up. Do you want to be buying now or later? I don't know. I have cast a ladder because I don't have the time to watch it. But you may as well just buy and hold it for a little while. Not financial advice. Nothing ever is financial advice here on this channel, so don't hold that against me. Do your own research. But there's nothing to do. There's no research that needs to be done. A failed point. This was very disappointing. Actually, let me tell you something. For the first time in a long time, and maybe because I was short on this candle, for the first time in a long time, I actually I look at this price action here. I look at the recovery here. I look at all the indications here. Reclaim, retest, pyramid, boom, boom, boom. Mag 7 setup, cool off, blast off. Mag 7 setup, cool off, blast off. All of this looks beautiful and has performed as intended. Here on this candle. Now, I have always been the guy to tell you that, you know, when you have an unsustainable candle like this, when it just drops suddenly out of nowhere, right? It's a bad look because it most likely is going to get bought. But because of this sideways action here and painted a little bear flag, I really thought that we were going to break down the final baseline, number 3 over here, and go down towards this line, or maybe even retest this green square right over here. And MarketSpy Armageddon. And hey, if algorithms fail all the time, it failed miserably because it was below the baseline. We had that 45-degree angle developing, and we were supposed to hit this, get a retest, and get rejected and come back down. But something happened here. We blasted off the magnet area, the ceiling here, just called the price towards it, and now we find ourselves chilling with a breakout above. And this over here, when it started to go down and how it recovered over here on the green, let me tell you something. I hate the green dots. I hate them. They're unreliable, they're unpredictable, but they're freaking profitable. Every time you get one, it's a gamble. You want to trust it. For the most part, I don't use momentum like this based on, oh, we have a green dot. But you know what? You look back, it's the dumbest thing ever. It always performs. It always performs. And I think if you do take a loss, like for example on this green dot here, every once in a while, it's not going to be as severe as you making these wins. So watch out for these green dots over here, because the thing is, they're unpredictable. They can happen anytime. During this consolidation here, I was not expecting this to freaking curve up like this. But then VVS, I should have known. And when we blasted off from here, I remember I was looking on a 15-minute chart right here. And we had this flag. I was like, if we take out this cap, it's over. If we take out this cap, it's over. So we blasted off. I waited a little bit, and I went mega short over here. Price came down, basically entry, and I was able to average out with a $6 loss. Not bad, but this right here. Lower time frames, I feel, are starting to, I don't know if it's driven by, certainly not short-term traders, or maybe it's algorithms or something, but lower time frames are more consistent than higher time frames, because the risk is actually more controlled on lower time frames because of the speed, and execution times are lower, so you're able to mitigate risk and basically get out of a freaking trade after 2-3 candle, and they're not as significant on lower time frames. However, if you're stuck on a 4-hour time frame like I was, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wait 8-16 hours and see what you get those 4-hour candles in a row, and good luck. It's really hard to manage that trade. It's still doable, but it's a pain in the butt trying to get out of that position after the fact. So lower time frames here are just, I don't know. I feel like I've been falling in love with lower time frames because there's more action, there's more excitement here, and there are more opportunities, as a matter of fact. And in terms of the actual moves, I mean, we're looking at 1, 2, 3 candles like this. Typically, all I need is a $200 move in order to get 1% on 1x, basically, of the account. And so you can go all in with 1x and exit 2 candles later. Now your entry is of course going to be somewhere around here, and your exit is going to be, so that gets slashed in half. You're not actually getting the full candle in terms of visual length. The way that you look at it is your entry is the average of the ATR at most, because it's just physically, it's a physical impossibility to get those fills right when you need them to. So you end up losing a little bit of momentum to these candles before your entry can get executed. I feel bad for Shiba. To the moon. I'm long on Shiba, but only once that Indian COVID relief fund dumps all their coins. Because every time it goes up, they'll dump it. They have stated that they will be selling it gradually over a period of time. So they're sitting in the barracks. They're waiting for the price to go up a little bit. Boom, they'll hammer it. It'll go up a little bit. Boom, they'll hammer it. So it's a multi-year long play, I think. Shiba is not a fast. It went fast, but what goes up must go down, and it's been down. So unless those guys sell, Vitalik Buterin donated like billions of those coins to that Indian COVID fighting club, relief club. So yeah, that remains to be seen how that is going to affect the Shiba. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It moves, and when you have rappers talking about it, liking it, you better believe there will be silent accumulation and then pumpage and dumpage, and it's a good opportunity to make some money on Shiba coin. And I'm not a big fan of shit coins, but you know, they move, and this is the time when they will actually have a follow-through performance. So if Bitcoin recovers right now, right, it gives us that little trade. I think once it starts cooling off, those coins are going to start picking up some pace. The way I look at crypto is that it's like a rotational trade. There are sectors. Shitcoin is like a energy sector. Bitcoin is like the commodity sector. Then there's the tech sector, you know what I mean? And so they're rotational. So there's like a time for each and every one of these categories of these coins to pump and dump based on technological trends. Even though it seems that they're moving in tandem, there are actually outliers out there that are decoupled or completely separate in terms of sentiment from Bitcoin and everything else. It's important to stay fundamentally educated on altcoins if you're trading them. Even though, as you have seen technically, I have seen people commenting about, it got listed on Coinbase! There's your fundamentals. Evil Coinbase laugh. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Yo, who the hell is KZ Sugar Plum? Out of my chat! Blocked. How you like them apples? Do you want popularity? Do you want followers on Twitch? You can buy them. Just shut up. Out of my face. That's other YouTubers. We have a gang of 24 right now, and that's all we need. Remember the 300 Spartans next time you try to promote your BS over here. Oh man, these people, I swear to God. Okay. If you guys want mod powers, let me know. I'll give it to you so you can kick butt in the chat if you feel like it. But then who's got that kind of time, right? Anyways, timing is everything, and Bitcoin is a very relaxed, chill trade right now. Biased to the long side until we aren't. I think we're gonna consolidate tightly here and then go up. This is the first flag of many, in my opinion. So I'll accumulate, and maybe I'll be more aggressive. Maybe not the daily ATR. Maybe I'll switch it over to. Because here's the thing: we could be doing this one thing on stream, and then on my own time, I could be looking at it and say, you know what? I feel like getting a fill on a 15-minute ATR. to get that average. I don't think it's going lower. And if I'm wrong, you just cut it. Just cut it. Trading is really simple. You have a setup. You have identified what the potential play is, and then you have to act on it and manage your trade accordingly. It's all about managing it. So you have to account in your head. You have to do a little simple math and say, what if this poops, right? How am I going to get out of this shit hole? And that's how you structure it. You're counting leverage. You're counting your contracts. You're counting like, can I lose my whole account here? Is liquidation even a question? Never. No liquidation. Ever. Malhi plays is shilling Shiba. What do you want me to do? You want me to buy it live right now? I'll do it. What do you want me to do? Shiba. Look at their tweet. Okay. How do we look at their tweet? Bobby B, a $200 move on 1x. I don't know how. It happens magically. Sometimes it's even less. The value is about 22K right now. You can bump it up to 30. Compensate for the hassle and the trouble every once in a while. You're also getting fees, guys. Sometimes my trade, sometimes to get that 1% is literally when MarketSpy is showing me that good signal, that good entry where let's say, let's go down to 15 over here, look at momentum, and I see like one of these green dots over here, and I'm like, okay, we bottomed out. I overlaid with Armageddon, scan the chart a little bit, see what's happening, and I see that we're resting on the base, and I'm like, okay, if there's momentum here, and we kind of rested, candles, it starts the recovery. I'm like, it's going to retest the baseline here. So I'll go like 20x over here with 100K. Well, that would be 5x using 20K account value. There's our risk paying. We have 0.56 on this public MS Edge account that we're growing to 1. And then selling instantly, growing it to, as a matter of fact, this will be sold pretty soon once it goes over to 0.6 at current prices, whatever. So, yeah, once you see that and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I can leverage up here. 5x, it goes up. It doesn't have to go $100. It doesn't have to go $200. As soon as it's in profit, I literally press buy, wait 3 seconds, press sell, boom, 30% of the account, 0.3%, sorry, of the account. Then you do it again, and that's because of fees. Fees accumulate so much of the profits that can be had here are due to fees, due to me trading with Bybit Pro and being fast about it. I don't hold trades. Warren Buffett doesn't hold trades. Nobody holds trades for longer than necessary. And so in that case, Sykes is in the his A. And somehow the number of viewers is 24. Even though we have people joining in. Maybe it's my stats over here. I don't know. What up, Sykes? It's good to see you. Real simple shit. So check this out, guys. If you're late to the stream, let's do this one quick recap about the giveaway. Right? This is only for people who are market spies. You have to be part of the Discord. You have to be a spy. You need to leave a comment down below. In the comment section below the stream, not in the live chat. You need to be using the Bybit link, and your account is a legit active community account using our partner link, registered and loaded. And you need to leave your Bybit ID with your comment down below. I will scan through them. In the next stream, we're going to do a random $1,000 giveaway to one lucky participant. You're only competing up against maybe 100 people tops. So very simple. So let's do this. Mladenkus is here. Not late, just getting started. I have to stop sleeping. No. Sleep is good. Sleep is good. Remember I said I lost my hearing. Like this ear could not hear anything. I mean, just a little bit, but a few decibels drop. Anything below 50, I could not hear it. Then I had to take a whole bunch of steroids and it fixed it. Now my hearing is back. The tinnitus is gone. It's constant buzzing. But I'm thankful. I'm very happy, relaxed, and couldn't care less about anything in the world right now because honestly, that spooked me. I'm only 30 beep, and to be losing hearing at this age is not healthy. Too young for that. That's crazy. Can we actually comment on live stream videos? For sure. Big hole in your eardrum. What do you mean? David, what do you mean? How are you gonna get a hole? I didn't have a hole. It was trading. I think it was stress or something, like the years of just, you know, broken sleep patterns and everything. I think that's what it is. Because the doctors say it comes out of nowhere, you know. It comes out of nowhere, and it's one of those health mysteries. Nobody knows why it happens. But I do have to go and take an MRI scan. And it's called contrast scan. You guys know what contrast is? They inject you with some liquids so they can see the potential tumors in the brain better. I just want to make sure. I know there's no tumor. Nowhere in hell is there a tumor. Why would I have a tumor? But you never know. So I want to make sure, you know. Scan the brain. Make sure like the charts are not damaging me. Mr. Bolo, the Senora. I don't know if it's radioactive. I hope not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the pit. I'm going to show you something real quick. Hey, welcome back. What are you looking at? What am I looking at? What is this thing? Maybe it's not as clear. Let me make it clear. All right, let's turn down the music for a little bit because we need to focus. So what you're looking at is my desktop. All right, this is really cool. I want you to get this is like the craziest. It's one of those little tiny things that you don't really care about, but then it happens. Okay, and then you're like, whoa, holy crap, I didn't even know like these things exist. So this is a desktop freaking wallpaper that is also a live chart. So whenever you boot up your computer, this thing shows up as a interactive live wallpaper. So if you drag your mouse across your desktop, see, I have a couple of icons here. I have some private folder over here with some BS in it and Bybit Pro. So I can drag them around, right? This is my desktop. But the thing is, it shows you a chart. Look at that. You can scale it by dragging your mouse across the desktop. It's really weird, all right? But I really wanted to share that. You can add indicators to it. Now, unfortunately, no MarketSpy, but from the so average true range over here, for example, BAM. No BAM. 2 indicators. It's a free version that's running. So you have your RSI and you have your momentum indicator over here, right? It always shows you the daily chart. Kevin Ong, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I know we have a lot of ninjas in the chat that are watching. I appreciate them too. But every once in a while, do say hello. And yeah, we'll make sure that it doesn't go unnoticed. How do you do that? So how do you do that? You go to Steam. So first of all, you need to have this thing. All right. You need to have this thing over here. It's called Wallpaper Engine. If you have Steam, like gaming platform Steam, you can see I have a bunch of games over here, all gifted or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, this thing has a wallpaper, and it's got these cool wallpapers that you can interact with, as you can see, right? By the way, if you search for Cryptopocalypse now, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one published. You can have this sick retro cryptopocalyptic wallpaper on your desktop with smooth dark colors so that you don't kill your eyes. Right here with a little fog on a rainy day with music. It looks amazing. Search it up, Cryptopocalypse now. But other than that, they have a whole bunch. Here's the pyramid. Here's the Egyptian pyramid right here. Check it out. Here's another pyramid. You know, we love them pyramids. Here's another one. So this is what it does. It basically, it gives you like, but here's the thing. We click, we search for Bitcoin. I just did. I looked for Bitcoin, and bam! It's a freaking look. BitMEXC, whatever you want. They have this version over here, right, which shows you the price, and it's your normal desktop wallpaper. But the best one is Bitcoin chart. It's called Bitcoin chart trading view. There it is. And so this thing pops out a chart like this. You can add, and it's always there. It's always there. So you don't have to open your trading view whenever you're browsing your computer. This is the best damn wallpaper that I've seen in my life, and it's so useful because you just notice things. It reinforces, like the daily chart never leaves your mind. It like burns into your mind, into your third eye. So every time you look at your monitor, it reminds you of what it is that you should be looking at, like the bigger picture, right? Because manually we have to force ourselves to just switch over to it every once in a while, and you know, it's fun and all, but not really. So I just feel like let's get Bollinger Bands in there. Boom! Bollinger Bands are added, as you can see. Oh, CPU, yeah. So I'm a cheapskate. Like when it comes to CPU and resources, I do not want my machines to be overwhelmed by nonsense like this. And I'm happy to tell you that if you go to your task manager and you look at the resources and the consumption, so basically it's so small, you're not gonna. It's just like the normal live, not live, but normal wallpaper. This one in particular is static. It doesn't use any GPU acceleration or anything like that. It literally just loads the picture of this chart and nothing else. There's no rendering going on. So it's so low. I have been playing this thing that my brother gifted me called Warzone, Modern Warfare. I don't know, Call of Duty Warzone or something, and it runs at 100 FPS with this wallpaper on. Nothing is affected. It's beautiful, lots of fun. But you can always have this chart like this with the two of the most amazing indicators, which is the Ichimoku cloud and the secondary momentum or Bollinger Bands. Ichimoku is included, RSI is included, plus you can add one more indicator on top, making it 3 in total. and you're always look at that Bollinger Band squeeze pattern right here. Look at that. It goes back down to the midline, to the 20 moving average, and it's a buy, exactly as we have been describing and discussing. Talking about a trade when it goes back down here. I think it's a buy and a slow recovery to new highs in the mid 40s, I believe. No, Steam doesn't have to run. Let's exit. Let's exit Steam altogether. Where is it? I don't even know how it looks like. Okay, here's Steam. Exit. Okay, so we're out of Steam now. Get it? Out of Steam. But you can still have your wallpaper engine as a separate app launched, and it will just use the cache to load these things up on your chart. And every time your computer starts, bam, you have your Bitcoin chart always and forever on your screen. And the crazy thing is, it has a Ethereum USDT on the side here and ADA. Daily chart, you can switch it to 1 week. Look at that. You can switch it to different candle types. You can go to Hike and a She if you wanted to. Look at that. So anyways, check it out. This is the best thing ever. Live wallpaper. I have discovered this recently, and it's been a blast. Just having this on my desktop every time I come to the desk and turn on the computer, this thing comes on, and it immediately resets your cloud in your head about trading, and you're like, I see where we are on the daily chart. I see that nothing has changed. Everything is. So right now, looking at this, I'm looking at a freaking head and shoulder the size of a King Kong, bringing Bitcoin down to 10K potentially if this fails and goes back down. So we have little things like that you don't notice. Let's zoom in a little bit. Look at that. So we have that death cross coming on the charts using Ichimoku. So as you know, when the blue line is above and the red line is below, that's kind of like a bullish setup. When we have a crossover of blue going below red and red is dominating, well, so that's coming. That's a couple of more days, and that's going to cross. So I think it's going to push the price down. I think I'm going to buy it and watch it rebound again, and maybe like slice and dice its way through this crossover. I don't think it's going to be a clean setup just like, but things like that are very hard to think about when you're looking at the chart, when you're zoomed in. But in this case, this wallpaper just kind of resets the whole bias for you, makes it clear. And check this out, to top it off, we can choose any one of the drawing tools over here, right? Look, and here's our RSI, and we can go bam on the desktop. This thing is, it's on the desktop, so you can have that drawn and wait for the breakout. See if you're gonna have a breakout. So right now, look at that. The RSI is retesting a potential floor here, and it might get rejected. And when it gets rejected, I think there might be a little divergence there or something, and we should be able to have a trade that will eventually recover back inside the triangle here, because it's very low. It's sitting at about 45, which is relatively bullish. As long as it's above 30, we're okay. Anything below that is of course calls for a bear market and a prolonged period of recovery. But on RSI here, you can draw these lines. You can have your arrows and mark certain areas right on your desktop, right? And it's like you can draw a circle. There you go. And you can, I don't know how to delete any of it now, but I'm pretty sure there's a way. Oops, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, you cannot right click on it because it's just going to give you like desktop menu. It's not going to give you. I think we messed up our desktop. Oh no. Oh no. Anyways, I'm brand new to this. I'll figure it out. But this is what your desktop is looking like now. Yeah, there might be something similar for Mac. It's a standard account, Sebastian says on TradingView. You could use the normal version. Do you know the publisher? I guess the publisher is, well, we can search for the publisher on Steam. But yeah, check it out. This is really amazing, and I have been enjoying it myself personally. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a little pause, and we'll be right back with another thing that I wanted to cover. And in this room, ladies and gentlemen, we have a hybrid setup where it's just Bybit Pro and nothing else. And so reclaim, retest, and now continuation to the downside. Yes? Is it? I don't trust bearish retests at the top because oftentimes, let's go to 15. Show you a little thing here. Hopefully it loads up. Oh man, this is look at this. Look at the inconsistency here. Jackrabbits all the way through. Jackrabbits, nothing but jackrabbits. Now you have a Mag 7 setup here, but I don't know about this. I'm very skeptical. Can I be skeptical? I have the right to be skeptical. I don't like the look of this. But yeah, oftentimes you have a retest like this and very little potential to make money on the bounce away because it makes sure that it traps as many traders as possible on yet one more leg up. And then it's just a lot of people are sitting out here at the top hoping that price would come back for them. Now it might or it might not. This is inconsistent. This is high power jackrabbit casino style trades here, which is fine. You know, every once in a while I engage with these often, but I have to be in top mental shape in order to do so. And right now I'm way too relaxed for this kind of action. I don't feel like gaming right now, you know what I mean? This is gaming. MarketSpy, what it did basically is it gamified the whole trading experience, and it's high risk, high reward kind of thing that we're looking at here. But for me, I'm a traditionalist, and I would like to see clean algo setups that are visually appropriate. They make sense. Here we're chopping through this, could go either way. Seeing this rejection, however, there's not enough evidence for me to conclude that now is the time. Although the Mag 7 could make it happen now, any moment. Anyways, in the next live stream, we'll try to do these live setups on lower time frames where we have something to play with, something that we can monitor live a couple of hours in and out of these live streams, and hopefully that's the kind of format that Bitcoin will allow us to have for live streaming. I do not want to be getting in on the trade before I go live, like some others out there. So would like to do it together. An entry right now, seeing how this is flat. Remember, I always look at the angle, at the degree of a trend. So when I'm looking at a 45-degree extenuation here, yes, I want to be long. I want to be trading these dragon skin setups and whatnot. When we're flat like this, and when all the moving averages are just horizontal, I don't know. The finger is itchy. I'm not gonna lie. The finger is kind of itchy. But then there's another word for it, which is FOMO, right? And I certainly am not a fan of FOMO trading. Unless we're pumping like this. Momentum, you have to trust momentum. The thrust and the trust go hand in hand. When momentum is strong, you can go ahead and be part of it and FOMO in, get your limit fill. It doesn't mean market, it's still a limit. I have it enabled because this never closes basically. This Bybit always stays open, and the only thing I do is I switch my accounts here at the top. But other than that, the desk never sleeps. So it's always on. As a matter of fact, the whole time I was away, it was on for like a month. Came back, I had to wipe off the dust from my monitor, my keyboard, and everything else. So, but yeah, we have a setup, and these pyramids are telling me that it wants to go higher up still. However, I am in the accumulation mode from down below, and I'll take my time with it. Because if it does go up, actually, I might actually go and pick up a few spot coins at this price point. I think if there are some major players who are willing to buy at this level, then I shouldn't be having a problem or any doubts about whether this is the right thing to do right now or not. But yeah, usually when I see a red cap like this, there is a chance that this will break through over it during this phase based on the bull flag. But on the other hand, I don't want to rush into it. You never rush. Stay patient. It's like a minefield out there. I don't know who's selling up at top. So I want to be picking it up down below. The other thing I'm noticing is that we have now it's crossed over, but there was a very nice away from this flag. It was a very nice expansion of the equilibrium zones, and I think now they're a little bit intertwined here, but it has the potential to resolve also from around here. It has the potential to do just what I want it to do. So we're gonna wait and see how that goes. This is not a complicated trade setup by all means. So this is not a insider platoon exclusive. There's nothing here that other traders are not seeing. It's just a breakout. You're waiting for a retest, reaccumulate for a chance for a continuation trade setup. You have to treat it as a breakout. There's no other way. How else are you going to get your position? How else are you going to get your entry? And the question is it coming down, or is it going to leave me behind and just go off to the mid 40s, and there goes our trade? I don't know, because I feel like an entry here, it's so volatile that anything, even 1x here, if it drops by 6%, 5%, there's going to be some damage. And in order to average out a 1x position, you have to be damn sure that it's actually going to stop here, because that's where you want to buy, and increase it to 4 to 5x. And if that's the case, you can bring your entry down just above this cap over here. If it doesn't stop there and it continues to bleed out and then gets smashed, yeah, that's how losses occur, and you have to live with that. But in my opinion, let's look at DSR. In my opinion, this little tiny bull flag here that's setting up is it has the potential, has a little potential to bounce away from this level. Just go up to CP over here. By the way, I'm still on a monthly. My setup is 1 month, 1 month, and 1 month. Should change this to say CPR number of periods back, because that's 14, certainly not days. If the CPR resolution is 1 month, that's weeks. Resting right on the base here. Yeah, I think it'll bounce. It's got time. Now in a bearish setup, now this is how it goes, right? You have a bearish setup, and the principle here is that how do you actually short in a bear market? Okay, let's take a look here. So you have your crossover over here, right? This is a 250 moving average simple trade setup where we have the initial sell-off, okay? Then we have a zone reaccumulation, potential bear rally, and technically, looking at a daily chart, this is a 4-hour chart, but let's say if it was a daily chart. Technically, what tends to happen is that once you have that initial crossover to the 50 moving average, and it goes up against the 200, 200 is the sell point, the maximum travel distance that price is going to go. And that's your sell point. When it hits and does not bounce away from the 50, continues, that's when the trailing stops activate and you start trailing it to go lower. And we finally have a continuation setup where the 50 and the 200 meet like this. And price rejection basically occurs somewhere around here, pushes it down below. Then we have a crossover, and the second time is when it conquers this 200 moving average. Now it's a bear market rally, and this is the best way to actually understand where it might come to an end, come to a stop. The 200 moving average can confirm if it's a bear rally or not if we get a rejection here. But of course, basing that on a daily chart is much better. There's still that death cross, which may or may not happen. Now, the wrecking ball here is going to cross over as well. Now, once it does that, it has the potential to fall through here. But then when it does that, it has the potential to again cross over. So I think all things are pointing to the fact that if we do get a rejection, this is a reaccumulation. This thing is going to allow us to trade basically in this rounding bottom formation, maybe one more time to retest this level well into July, a month from now, and so on. So this is going to be an interesting trade setup here, and I might actually be a bit more aggressive across all accounts on this one, because if it's the recovery that everyone's been waiting for away from this bottom, then it has the potential to stick around for a little while at these levels. BC, CP, so it's getting there. So I think we're biased long in the meantime. Just want to see this go over and get green a little bit. The minute it does, it's going to sell off a little bit, and that's when we reaccumulate. And then once it's in the green zone, of course, it's just going to stay there for a little while until it will have about 24 days, so a month worth of price action where this thing can maybe face another sell-off. So yeah, selling Bitcoin around 45 to 47 seems like a good spot. Because I do think that we will have extreme sell-offs on the way. It's not, just one recovery. There's going to be some shenanigans happening here, definitely. But for now, yeah, we're looking for an opportunity. If we see something with MarketSpy on lower time frames, maybe we can execute there short term. It looks like it's going to have a little push up any moment. But I'm still, this is the initial plan was to wait for this to come back down and reaccumulate down at the retest. The retest has to happen. We rarely see a breakout like this and then no retest. So when it does happen, I want to be a buyer, pick up a few contracts here on the way, and I think it's gonna, of course, upon recovery, if it loses that, It's going to go just about here, maybe hit the ceiling again. But that's the area, that's the trade right there. From somewhere around here to here is what I want to capture for a quick one. Spread out over a couple of days. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to keep it at daily ATR, roughly 1x, slightly over that. Let's see what happens. And this, so we do hybrid setups, right? We have something like this is you plan for and you stick to it. But at the same time, while you have that whole ladder set up, you're doing smaller trades based on the indicator and potential setups as price dances its way through this consolidation range. Could be a flag, who knows? I don't know if it's a flag or not. But this rejection is telling me that there's potentially one more push to the downside. I should be more comfortable shorting it now, but I'm not, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to accumulate all that. So if I'm shorting it away from this rejection, how long until we actually go in the red on the 4-hour chart over here? It's very unlikely. So it has more potential to the upside here, I think, than down. And when it does go down, I still want to be positioned to trade it up. Now, in the 4-hour, this would be sitting around 38, thereabouts, 38, 37.5 maximum. Just by looking at the whole Armageddon ribbon here, we can see that this has the power to come back and retest that. There's always a meeting point. It cannot just continue going up, but if it does, the next resting point is somewhere around 40. So 40s is where people would be buying once we make that leg up to CP, maybe 42 to 44. But then again, that's the kind of trade that I'm aiming to have away from the zone. It might not happen. So in a couple of hours, if I change my mind, if I want to go in, if I see a breakout and volume coming in, I might actually just call it a day and say, you know what, I'm going long at this particular point right now, because that makes the most sense. A couple of hammers here. You know what, I'm just going to have a little, just in case. In the event that it does, since I'm still averaging it out in the zone, I'm willing to hold it for a little bit. I feel like it might. There's no strength here and it's fading, but we could have a couple of spikes here and there. Holy smokes. This setup here is incredible. 1,000 different buttons. All right, so summertime is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Summertime is upon us, which means we have some fresh gear for you guys to rock. Now, this is the stuff that I'll be giving away to the second and third winner of the giveaway. This just came in right here. I'm looking at it for the first. This is crisp. This is crisp. Now, due to the RTX off mode, because my graphics card does not support it, hence the pixelation. Let me tell you something. This thing here, it is not that pixelated. It's actually crisp. The fabric is, I want to eat it. It's so good. It's so good. This is not your, this is canvas. Bella plus canvas fabric. You guys know what that is? It's better than that Gildan shit. So sweet, light, and crisp. And the actual graphics here are, you can watch this 1,000 times. Not gonna go away. Comes with a personal thank you card. The fuck you money card. That's what it says on it. I don't know why. And there's a hoodie. The hoodie. I'll be giving it away too. Not this particular, but another one. You're gonna have to tell me your size, but you guys can rock this. Trust me, Cryptopocalypse now is a head turner. Been walking around, people looking at it, and they're like, what's that? Cryptopocalypse. They can't even pronounce it. That's right. I was like, you know what? This is the kind of gear that you want to flash if you're on the winner's side. You don't want to be walking around with Carl the Moon t-shirt or Crypto Face mask t-shirt. Come on. You want this. All right. Now, my crystal ball here is a special kind of a crystal ball. It can actually tell us if Bitcoin is going to recover or not. So let's ask the crystal ball. I'm kidding. We're not going to do it today. We need to go to a special room, and it's not set up yet. But we're going to go. I'm going to take you guys. You have been to the pit. You're here at the desk in the office. And as for the crystal ball, well, there's a special room with an actual person that we can go to and talk to and ask. And they'll do the professional thing with the fortune telling, future seeing. Yeah. They are the seer of the future. Anyways, this stuff is incredible. I'll be giving it away. Let me know if you're interested. I don't know how I'm going to be shipping these out to you guys here in the middle of the Pacific, to be specific, but it should be a good summer for everyone. Bitcoin is going to give us some good trades this time around. Capitulation is here, ladies and gentlemen. Rejoice, be happy. Cheers. And as for the RTX graphics here, well, you're gonna have to help me with that. As soon as we get, I don't know, a stream like this deserves what? Can I ask for at least 2,000 subscribers? I mean, come on. Or do you want me to start dancing? Do you want me to start drawing triangles and saying, if we go here, then, if we go there, then, or Do you want me to gamble all of my fortune away and start making $1 million bets on stupid ass trades just to flex? Not gonna happen. But what will happen is that, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to be rational, observant, and patient with our trade setups, because we don't want to lose any money. And by the way, speaking of losing money, all right, let me share a secret of how not to lose money. When you're in a position and you feel like the exchange is starting to win, meaning you're seeing red accumulate, -5, -10, -30, -40, -50, -60, -$100, you have to think to yourself, on average, when you have a profitable setup, how much do you make? Probably more than that, right? Usually when you have a good setup, price goes up and you make money. So is it not better to just take the loss if you're not feeling confident? That's the whole secret to it, is just take the freaking loss. You know, things are not going our way. It sucks, but you have to disconnect from that whole notion of, you know, this is the only chance in my lifetime. You know, take the loss, because you're probably going to have a healthier outlook for the next setup, and you're going to make that money back and break even and be at peace. I'm going to step away for a few days and reevaluate. But you don't do that. What tends to happen is that I saw the memes on Discord. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to this trade, because why wouldn't I? Losing trades. Sykes posted one in the meme chat. I saw that, made me smile, and it's true. It's like we're always trying to prove a point or something to ourselves. But we have to recognize that the God market is called that for a reason, because Bitcoin or any other asset that you're trading is the deciding factor. Like, whatever it tells you, if it's telling you that shit's not going your way, it's not happening, you have to nod your head and say, yes, I understand and I agree with you. I don't want to argue. I'm taking the loss. I know basically, once you take a loss, that means in your analysis, you're probably correct, but now you're going to get a better entry because price is going to go down a little bit, and now you can re-enter. And it's very rare when you make one mistake after that, like 2 consecutive mistakes in a row. You only fudge up once, and you can forgive yourself, cut the trade, and then look forward to the next one. That's the whole secret to it. Shouldn't be complicated, but emotionally, you know, it's the same as saying marriage shouldn't be complicated. Should be able to handle other people. It's easier said than done. Because when you're in the middle of it, it's like, Warren Buffett, by the way. That's me right there. That's Warren Buffett. Yep. Right there. That's that right there, that's also me. And secret. Yeah, so the crystal ball room is coming. It's being built right now. I'll take you there. I took you to the pit, took you to the desk, but we have the crystal ball room that's going to give us all the answers in the world. We'll keep adding. Well, in the next live stream, today I invited you to the desk, which We took over, kicked Bobby's ass out of here, took the desk, set up shop, and that this is where we are now. But in the next live stream, I'm going to take you to the crystal ballroom. Show you what that's all about. Get all your answers from a real fortune teller. And you don't have to watch BitBoy for his made up star analysis. I'm going to give you the real thing. Captain Cloud says there's a great book that helps overcome emotional mindsets with trading. I highly recommend it. It's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Yes, it's the first book that anyone should read when it comes to trading. Managing your expectations, that book has it all. Reactionary trade behavior. Analytical approach, realizing when it's too late, when it's early, when it's time to let go. For sure. That's a great book, and thank you for recommending it. Trading in the Zone. Actually, for those of you who don't know, it's available on YouTube, I believe, as an audio version. So you can actually go ahead and listen to that book every night, like 30 minutes before you go to bed. You pop it in your earphones, lie down, listen to it, and yeah, that's all. That would be amazing. That would be amazing, Captain Cloud. That you know what? Sharing is caring. I appreciate that. No offense to the company. Doug, he made his money. He should be okay. He should be okay. It's public domain. It's available on YouTube now. It's a classic. So we're not violating any laws here. Fully compliant, Woody. Fully compliant. Yeah, great book. Audio version even better. You just get that through your head again and again and again. Go for a jog, hop on your scooter, take your bike out, flip flops, hit the beach. Listen to it. Let it speak to you on that personal level through, a great book. Ladies and gentlemen, how long has it been since we looked at this potential breakout setup? Over 5 minutes? 20? I don't know, 15 minutes? Look at that. And it's not moving. It's not moving. Boom, I took profit. Yeah, but it's only $2. Hey. Send me a $2 donation right now to the super chat. I'll take it. $2 here, $2 there. I'll take it. It's worth my time to be taking profit like this. Now, if it's not moving 5-15 minutes after the entry, I don't know if it will ever. Now, once it does move, it's going to come down a little bit. We just took profit, but you can't see it. Let's go to a better view. There you go. As you can see, $5 on this trade. Doesn't it feel nice? Feels nice. Now this is relative to this account. Remember, This is not a lot, but it adds up. Try losing $5 10 times in a row. See how that feels like. And also now try winning, which is much easier to do with MarketSpy than losing it. And it'll feel just as great. It's not gonna be much, but it's gonna give you that taste of things to come, because every time you secure a profitable trade, you're clear in the head. You're not as confused. There's no guessing. Now look at this. Now there's a MAG7 setting up, but I don't know. It's shaky grounds. It's shaky grounds over here. I'm not too forward looking on this. I don't know about you guys. BB Turbo. Good to see you here. I'm gonna ask a simple question. Just give me the number. What's the average? If you know what I'm talking about. What is the average? What are we looking at? What's the average? What are you looking at? To just get out. Break even. Forget about it. You know? Flat line. What's the average? I know there's an average. There has to be. The diamond-handed traders in our group, I swear. Diamond-studded. Diamond-handed. There's got to be an average. Now, for some people, it's 45. Hopefully, it's below 50. Because if it's below 50, I think we're going to clear it. And that's the good news. There has to be a time when these moving averages here need to get tapped, touched, connected with. And Bitcoin wants to do that. Bitcoin wants to do that. There's no way we're gonna not touch this, even once. Even if it goes down here, even if it like and this comes, we're still gonna come in contact, and that's good. But we're not coming above it anytime. I'm afraid that this equilibrium zone 3, it's over. We're not seeing that for a while. This is going to be a long journey. It's the recovery. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We're selling. We're selling at the blue bar. I am. It's going to be a long journey. You can already see it. You can see how it's going to be setting up in the coming months. So that's our playground. This is the pit, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, this is the boiling pot. This is where it's at. So all of that action is here. Our job is to not lose any trades here. Not necessarily win, but not lose any trades in the zone. Hey, so I've been studying, you know, a variety of martial arts and the thought process, the thought systems behind them, like, you know, origins. And this is going to be, yeah, I don't know if I should talk about it. But anyways, there's this one martial art, and it's called Ninpo. Ninpo. N-I-N-P-O. All right. And apparently it was it was a variation of samurai arts, but what the Hollywood made known be as the ninja stuff, right? But it was actually a real thing. It was actually a real thing where people had skills and then were hired to perform certain services that would be best described as, you know, spy stuff, like ninja stuff. But anyways, they have a whole philosophy, and I learned that it's not about the fights, it's not about the moves that gave him the advantage. I learned that it was like the ninjas, shinobi or whatever, the primary objective was spiritual refinement. And nin in Japanese means patience, like the patient heart. And it's crazy because they were constantly under attack. Think of whales and people that move markets, right? Think of survival, think of protecting your family, your capital. Think of all that, and think of the ninja and the fact that it wasn't about the fighting. So it wasn't about constantly trading, constantly hitting, constantly killing. It was literally not getting hit, escaping when you get hit. And most of all, it was the primary objective for the ninja was spiritual refinement. Can you believe that stuff? Spiritual refinement. What does that have to do with anything? What turns out that in Japan, spiritualism is slightly different. It's not what you might be thinking, maybe. Spiritual refinement means, like, you know, self-control. You know, acting only when appropriate. Striking your opponent only when the conditions are favorable, you know. So you're always, the environment is your master. So the time frame, the setup might look favorable, but there's a hidden trap in there somewhere, and we have to be able to still deploy our analytical skills and present some if arguments, you know. Sure, it looks good, breakout and everything, but what if and how? What might happen? And how are we going to survive that? So self-mastery, books like Trading in the Zone, that's what it's all about. It's spiritual refinement. It's behavioral patterns. It's how we adjust when we look at the charts, what it is that we see. Does it resonate with our inner peace? If it introduces some, like, you know, fear, if it introduces fear, stop loss, then that means we're not really confident. We're not really sure about the trade. And that's like 90% of trades. So that means that we only trade every once in a while, which is not profitable. You trade every once in a while. Yeah, if you have a lot of money, like 6 million plus, for example, that you can freely afford to lose, or lose a chunk of it. Yeah, it's not a problem. When you have under 2 million deployed, you know, in the markets, whether it's all in on Bitcoin or across other instruments, you know, you really have to think twice about the potential damage there. So what does it mean to have that phase of spiritual refinement in your life as a trader? I don't know. I think it has to do with it's everything to do with that. I look back, self-analysis, right? I look back and I realize that most of the losses that happen are actually self-induced. Like, it's not the market that did that to you. It was my own hand, my own mind that took the loss. Actually, if you think about it, the market never makes you lose anything, and so it's always you. It's always the timing. It's always the fear. It's always the, you know, if you cut the loss, that's on you. You went swimming, suijutsu, underwater, scuba diving for days. That's also on you, but you survive. I know there are people that are holding from here, and honestly, they'll probably recover. It's just that they're missing all the other action potentially that could help them kind of. So it's an option. Like, think about it. You could like let's say your entry was right here. You take a loss. Bam, 700% value of your account down. And now from here to here, you're going to be trading this. And this whole time, you're going to break even eventually. You're going to have losses and wins here. But overall, I think with a good system, good management, rational trading, you'll recover. You'll recover what you lost by entering here. Now, on the other hand, instead of grinding it, but all this work is for nothing, because now you're back to square one, which is not good, not bad. It's just, it is what it is, right? You're just wasting your time pressing buttons, and your life is gone. Not really, but that's like months, maybe a year of grinding to get back. Okay, fine. But what if you take the loss? You're down. You recover. You broke even. Took a long time. On the other hand, if you're still holding here and you did not take a loss, well, all you can do really, if your liquidation price allows, of course, all you can do is wait for this thing to recover and you break even. And you didn't have to lose sleep. You didn't have to trade. You didn't have to do anything. But you also were locked out. You were not having fun. You were not doing anything. You got a bad entry. You had to wait. And now you break even. The result is the same. The only difference is, in one instance, you're working really hard to recoup those losses. And in the other instance is, like Bybit Turbo says, waiting for the opportunity. That's also a lost opportunity for everything else. So what I'm saying is, no matter how you manage it, a bad trade is a bad trade, and the outcome is always the same. But it's us, ourselves, that determine, we want to take a loss. How hard do we want to work towards it? Or if you're holding it, you know what? Surprisingly, these things, price will most likely recover. Look at 2020. Now, you could be holding this for a long time, right? Or you could take half a loss. So this goes up to, like, let's say this is your line. Like, let's say about here, price goes up around here, and you're like, I'm taking a loss here. Now you took a partial loss, and that's also another strategy. So how can we accelerate the process? Well, it's by having two accounts, for example. One gets stuck, the other one, so mentally you'll have to make a note to yourself and say, one of my accounts, if it's a rapid place and replace account. So place an order, doesn't work, cut it. Place an order, works, take profit. Place an, it's an actively managed account. It's a day trading account. The other one where you got stuck is the one that you basically allow it a few months, maybe a year, maybe a few weeks to stay underwater or whatever. As long as you know that, look, it was an early entry. It was a good entry, but it was a little too early, which means we'll probably recover back to those levels. All right. And so you allow yourself to stay with it, but instead of missing an opportunity, you supplement, you're still making money with a second account. So having two accounts is mandatory. Having three accounts, I believe, is an overkill, unless you're using it for a different purpose altogether. I'm talking about the same sort of, not one is short, one is long exclusively. I'm talking about just being able to stay free, one account is freed up from the burden of being stuck in a position, because you never execute 2 trades at the same time. There's a variation, right? There's a distance, time and space between the two. It's like having 2 PC monitors, right? It's not like you're using it to extend the desktop for whatever. You're using it for 2 different applications. One is running Bybit Pro and the other one is running like 3 other trading view charts split, right? They're all showing different data. There's different accounts. 2 monitors, 2 different purposes. Spread the load. Anyways, in terms of a setup, sometimes we see very complicated price charts, price analysis. Here, it's relatively simple. I don't like going back and looking at comparison. Like, for example, we go back to 2017. It's 20K high, right? We go back and we see the same exact thing. I'm too lazy to do that. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't really dig those style of trading where people say, "Oh, if we look back, Bitcoin staged a recovery into the," Here's your VWAP. This is the recovery zone, basically. Like I said, mid 40s, 46, 45. This is where we're going. We're going to touch these lines. It's a magnet. No matter how you slice it, we're going to meet. We're not going to leave that hanging there. We're going to touch that. However, let's go back to daily. So, there's a baseline reclaim and everything, right? We're in the green. That's going to take time. It's going to keep going up. Fine. What do we go back to the run up to 20K over here? Right here. I know it's different. I know. But this is what YouTubers do. They look at price action and say, guys, if you look back in 2017, we had a similar. They look at fractals, I'm not a fan of that, but there we go. So we have a staged recovery here with a failed retest. So for example, we had one over here, failed, and let's say this was the entry, right? One had to wait for a very long time to actually get back and out of that position. So 49 days, almost 2 months of staying underwater. But once you have that initial sort of green zone, it's kind of like we're very near those levels. We're looking at a recovery similar to this right now on Bitcoin. Most importantly, I think there was one. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This is the bottom. When it goes flat like this for a little while and keeps retesting it, then stages a recovery, just goes flat right under it, and then we have a max 7, and we have that pump, and off we go. So that was in 2017, and then 14K. Recovery over here. We had a drop, 1. So I think this time around we're gonna have similar performance on Bitcoin, where we're looking at a daily chart. We have a little bit of green, but then eventually we create even lower lows than before. So this thing is going to keep going, but I think once we're right around this area, this will be, see this crossover over here? This is going to be the last chance to basically sell Bitcoin. This is going to take a long time to establish itself. And then here we might, this will be a point where it might actually recover and resume the bull market, the bull run, or it'll go down and create another low, in my opinion. We're not breaking above this channel. This is absolutely, so if we draw the line, from here to here, that's about where our equilibrium zone 3 is resting. This is also the neckline that made us break down back to these levels. So I think somewhere around here, okay, the VWAP will be resting around here. We're looking at like mid 40s. Mid 40s is what I'm looking at. And then from here, I don't think we'll break out. If we do, we'll probably resume the bull run. We'll probably, if we break out above here, this is going to be a resumption, like a huge double bottom or something like that. But I'm not counting on it. The pandemic, you know, I don't know, this was a unique situation for Bitcoin. But there's a magnet line here. And so I'm confident that people who have gotten in on Bitcoin at the neckline, not above it, not above this leg, but at the neckline and below, I think we're coming back for them. And we're going to get them out of this bad trade, if they have one still open. Just makes sense for us to do so. We draw this line. It's essentially this pink line over here. It's the confluence here is the same. It's just around here. So this is the point of interest. We're looking at 48 max. Now here's hoping that Bitcoin goes down a little bit in the coming days or so we can get an entry. Maybe we'll rest above here and green, because this will be a fast one. This will be a fast one. And then this is also the place where I would want to be short, closer to this area, for sure. Going to have 48.5. I'll take it. If it happens while I'm gone, there you go. Keep that order resting in there. But this equilibrium zone, we will chop through it. It will seem like we're recovering, but it's actually going to indicate there's a structural change here, right here. So return to the mean, just about here, and then we go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many days is that away from where we are now? So about there. We're looking at maybe a full month, 20 days, 18 to 20 days to stage that recovery. And in between there, I'm hoping, I'm accumulating right now to for the price to go down so I can pick it up closer to the baseline. This is your daily chart. Now, if you were lucky to be around on the reclaim and the retest here, yeah, you're sitting pretty. All you have to do is just trail your use a stop loss to trail, But if your entry was somewhere around here at 34, 35, nice. All you have to do is just sit back and relax and trail this along. What do you guys think? Does that make sense? Or do you think we'll resume and blast our way through to 85 and beyond? Or do you think it's going to be like one of these? Man, when we look back, it'll be like, yep, that made total sense. So that blue wave is gonna come up here. This is going to fail. And I don't know. Let me know, what do you think? Marian Mikolai says, wow, nice to finally see you, even though just blurred. Well, it's the evil cam. Here's what you can do. You see that? It's a long, long way to get rid of the blur, but you guys can help eventually. I don't know how, somehow, some way, but this blur actually automatically deteriorates with every subscriber. If one of you clever guys can create an algorithm and like boom, grant like 100,000 subscribers, this thing is just gonna go melt my face off the blurry screen, and we're done. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Just a little bit of a intrigue. There's actually a good reason for that, but like I said, I'm in the clear. This is temporary. Now, I like to just basically draw something like this, sit back and dream a little bit. I like to dream a little bit. I look at this thing and I think to myself, you know, if I look back, am I going to feel like a complete idiot for not foreseeing this? For like, if this was a 15-minute time frame, would it be weird if this was a shitcoin? Would it be weird to see something like this, like that yellow, what you're seeing right now? Something unbelievable, like 85K, you know? GME, right? It's so commercial now, GME. Like the meme stock is so legendary that I have this shortcut switch right here for to switch different scenes, basically, right? So you guys can watch a variety of screens here, and they have like these pre-built custom icons that when you press a button, it's just gonna you can set your own custom icon. And so one of the icons in there that ships with the software, right, is GameStop, and there's like this little graph that shows the chart going up. So it's a GameStop thingy that's commercialized, and basically everyone knows about it. People at cocktail parties talking about it, you know. GameStop, that's funny money. Yeah, I don't know. I think options is going to be the next craze in the trading space for Bitcoin. Once we have more options, pardon the pun, more options, not just Deribit, derivatives.com, but something that can compete against it, something more accessible, backed outside of that. When we have options, and it'll be simplified, and people will trade Bitcoin options for tendies. But right now, I think these perpetual swaps and derivatives they're quite nice to be a part of. They're my favorite. But yeah, there will come a time, I think, where Bitcoin options and derivatives of different caliber will be available, so widely spread and available that everyone will actually start trading those instead. Many people have and do today, but we're mostly limited to futures, which kind of suck and extremely risky. More risky than options, actually. More risky than perpetual swaps, because you have that expiration date. There's nothing you can do about that. It's gonna expire. But yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at it. Like when we see something like that, right? Could we? Is this possible? Look how consistently green it was over here, and look how short-lived this whole rally was. I think there's still some juice left, but if this happens to Bitcoin, then I don't know. Then I don't know. It's macro trading. Yeah, we can Picasso our way through all day. Doesn't really make a difference. I just this top right here did not feel like a top. Like it was so flat. And this little, after two nice spinning dojis and a hammer, this felt like it was supposed to like go higher, maybe. I don't know. It didn't feel like a top. It didn't feel like a top. Like this over here, this felt like a nice little top over here. Based on volume and everything. Do you see any volume here? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was. This did not feel like it was a naturally driven top. It feels like there's still, even now, it feels like there's still room up there. It doesn't feel like if it's too impossible to go and retest that top. Now, who knows? Bullish news, anything comes out, and it might do something like this. But anyways, I'm ready for whatever the case is. I'm ready to go along and listen to what Bitcoin is telling me. Right now, it wants to recover. The only thing is, and why the market is also hesitating here. Let me show you something. I know they're looking at it too. Who's they? They, the powers that be. The only thing is, sorry, Armageddon. We'll see you later. This could be a highly complex head and shoulder structure set up, and it looks very nasty. This looks really dangerous here, guys. All right, so this one is look at that. So let's suppose that this is the bottom of the neckline. All right, and we bounced, and it's fine. Right shoulder should have lots of volatility here. Right. By the way, this distance from here to here, that was minimum. Head and shoulder posts. So from here to here, we made the target. That's minimum target on the head and shoulder. Minimum. So you can see the triple crown structure here. Two little shoulders here. It's not that different from it's the coronavirus dip, right? Smaller scale, but you can see triple crown structure. Two little shoulders over here. Very, very complex setup, right? We had a little diamond over here. It dropped it right on the shoulder. And so the minimum target on the coronavirus dip was structured just to about here, and then double that is the normal behavior for a pattern like this, where we could potentially see the bottom. So it's very similar. It's very similar right now. However, what we're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, is so this was the minimum met. An extension of that eventually would bring us closer to a cap of the previous 20K high. With momentum so strong that it has the potential to overshoot. Because if people were afraid to buy the 20K, thinking that a 2017 scenario may take place again, then they will hesitate to buy 20K this time around. So I think it might actually go lower. If this is setting up to be a freaking bull trap, a bear trap, it's always confusing. You know, you have a bull trap where you're, you know, are you trapping bulls, or you have a bear trap, are you trapping bears, or is it bears trapping bulls? So it's a bear trap. So bears are setting up the trap for the bulls. Whatever you call it, it remains to be seen if we can actually, if this goes up really, really fast, really high, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be short the closer we get to the neckline. It just makes sense. And if I'm wrong, frick it. I will cut the losing trade. If this goes up to previous high, I will take the loss and then keep the Bitcoin and then let it go in value, because this is ridiculous. But the retest should be technically right here. There will be a lot of participants here, closer to 48, 49, 50 selling. Okay. And that's what I'm thinking. That's the only thing here that has the potential to, like this over here. One of them here, one of them here, and off we go. So for those of you guys who are sitting in there, if it comes back for you, break even, take profit or whatever, but don't hold it in hopes that it will go higher. Just be on the safe side. I think this is logical. This is not something that, like, anyone can take a look at this and say 1 + 1 is 2. And so we have that potential here. As for the trade setup, so basically this breaks 30 and down we go. Anything below 30, I think the low here The only problem is by that time, it'll probably move so fast that it'll be too late. Your entry will be like at 27 or something, whatever, right? And it's gonna get absorbed real fast, go sideways again. So a lot of things can go wrong here on this setup. And potentially, I'm looking at a head and shoulder bear recovery rally, because bear rallies, they're very aggressive. We're gonna see like 15-20k pump away from the lows naturally, and that's fine, 50% recovery. But then from there on out, it's kind of slow grind down. So I don't know. So that's the only thing that I am worried about in the short term, in the next coming weeks or so. I'm looking at VVS giving me strength. I see that it's actually on the way to, it's recovering slowly. Other than that, like short term over here, we've just broken the cap, the neckline here. I do think that this presented an inverse head and shoulder setup for us, and I think we're not done. I just wish that Bitcoin would come back for a dip. I don't want to FOMO in, but the power of this, once again, this leg brings us to mid 40s. Yeah. Makes sense. So biased for the upside now. Biased for the upside until that until that shoulder development is complete. And I think the VWAP area, as well as Armageddon's daily touchdown point, the intersection right here, is going to be the place come on, load up. Going to be the place where that equilibrium zone 3, very important for me, is going to be these things are magnets, right? Like it's happening. It's happening. VVS is strong. It's going to keep pushing it. So here we have a crossover. Remember in previous videos we talked about when we have a crossover, because death crosses and everything else are lagging indicators, and when they happen way above, so basically the drop was here, the cross occurred here, this means that we'll go back up here, and this is our sell point. EQ3 will be waiting for us. Eventually it'll recover back to this point. So this touchdown here on this equilibrium, this is where we're going to be looking at to take profit if we're long from here, or selling it from there. And it might have a little overshoot over here, back to 50, 52 maybe. Scare a lot of people. I think we're gonna have like this baseline is we're gonna crack it, lose it, is gonna be red. Everyone's like, oh my god, and then it's gonna pump once again and then fade. So that's the setup I am looking forward to, because I don't see any other way for traders to take profit besides this. So if they're long from here, they'll be taking profit somewhere around here, unloading, and also meeting counter resistance. We're gonna have people shorting Bitcoin. below most equilibrium zones, so definitely not leapfrogging it, jumping above it, and then having staging a recovery. Not gonna happen. So that's the shoulder potential, right? And we're just exploring. Let's keep an open mind here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep an open mind here. You have to think like this. You cannot fight for righteousness, you know. You have to make sure that we don't screw up in our analysis, because you know the most important thing here is, okay, so what if let's invalidate this. Let's say this recovers, goes back down, comes back up, and rests here. Now we're gonna look at this. Either way, everyone's gonna be calling for a recovery, and this again, this is the opposite of what we're seeing, the potential to the downside. So this recovery here, if we break the neckline, go back above it, rest a little bit, and then pump, automatically everyone's gonna be like inverted head and shoulder, Adam and Eve, and by that time the sentiment might change. So we will have to change our sentiment along the way also, and flip bullish completely, just like that. But along the way right now, whether this is going down or up, I think we're still looking for a trade up, and we're still looking to pick up dips in the green zone. So as long as I'm in the green zone over here, I'm a buyer. As soon as we lose that, I might chillax a little bit on the buying and longing Bitcoin, and might take a neutral to bearish stance again. So with MarketSpy, there's another anomaly. What are you saying, BB Turbo? Give me the breakdown. A short is getting liquidated. There's a short squeeze coming. Is that what you're saying? It's got to be that. So here's another thing, right? The first damaged area here, when the breakdown happened, the baseline reclaimed, so to say, to the downside. I believe that we have topped out at this area. Now, remember in the platoon, I was like, you guys, you know, it's 38K. Maybe it's time to take profit. Consider, like, you know, selling some spot. Not going to regret it later. On the way up, you know, to take a little bit. So every time you have these red areas over here, right? Warning signs. And guess what? L1, L2. I don't know if it was this one or this one, but L3, and that's something that we've been looking at. And what happens, all right, is that we come back to the first L, usually, to everyone's dismay and surprise. I kept telling you guys, you know, they're taking profits behind our backs. Trust me, those institutions, they're not holding anything. I guarantee you Sailor took profit and then re-upped again. So basically, like, took profit, now he's buying again. Yeah. So this is what. So we have a warning here, right? Now what about this over here? You know what? This is a good sign. Give me one more. Give me another reclaim. Give me a divergence. Take your time, Bitcoin, whatever it takes. But yeah, keep me in the green over here, because this is eventually years. I don't know, what are we looking at? November, maybe not years, but you know, months by next winter. It's a good look. It's a good look on a daily chart. I trust the algo, and I know this is a sign. It may not be giving me the specific exact entry over here, telling you, like, you know, go long right now, right here on this candle. That's our own personal analysis, how we execute our entries, and whether we choose to do so or not. But in terms of hints and signs, you know, it's the inverse of of something that's happened here before, and I think it's one of the many signs of recovery. So that maybe not the bottom, but one of the bottoms. So a rally is due. We're just waiting for that. Oh, by the way, this extension here, from here, as you can see the line, let's make it thicker so you can see better. So this extension here from the neckline breakout all the way up to here brings us exactly to the purple line, mid-40s again. Just all things are pointing towards the mid-40s. Right now we're being suppressed by the volatility line right here. So there's going to be a reaction. Like I said, one more dip down would be amazing. Do I want to go long here? Kind of. But I also want to give it some space and let it cool down maybe a little bit. But we're definitely looking to tap the purple line at 44. Since this is measured in volume, it is showing us that, you know, they will intersect because there has been volume coming in, particularly on this recovery candle, the El Salvador candle, and two follow-throughs over here, which kind of peaked their head above the moving average, but it failed to close consecutively. 1, 2, 3. Usually 3 bullish candles in a row, pull back, and then we have a massive, strong continuation. However, we had there's one candle that's indecision candle. So I'm simply accumulating based on the breakout from this point. What do you call it? From here to here. I've got 1, 2, 3 points, and those breached with relatively strong volume here. Okay, but not enough volume to mark the top. Now we will see. Remember, when we have volume coming in from the bottom after a sell-off, it's a good sign. When we have a sell-off and volume is coming in at the bottom after the sell-off, so after the fact, that's also a good sign to go long. So we have massive red volume here and massive green volume here on the reclaim. So that's good, which means any retrace now from this stage down to here should be a buying opportunity, you know. If I see an immediate setup where we can execute on lower time frames, I'll let you know. I haven't been as focused last few days just because of the new location and everything, but this is low volume. I think this is going to dump soon and going to give us a nice opportunity to buy in. So I want to be 38 to 37, please. Give me that. Just about there. That makes sense. And we simply have no choice. I mean, what are you going to do? Is there some magic pill to this trade? Show me. Call any professional trader and tell me what they'll show you. The same things. They'll see a bull flag. They'll see a consolidation phase. They'll see a corrective move down back to the cap of this, which is right there. At the same time, we have so many traders that are probably looking to capitalize on that. So we want to be accumulating from below here. And then when price recovers, it's actually going to get rejected by this. It will go down. Here we'll grind. People will think, oh, it's over. It's going to fake out, come back up, and then recover. So we want to be buying in this range, or at least that is my analysis of the situation here. If it doesn't hold and goes down, well, there you go. We learn, we let go, and we'll take the loss. But I'm accumulating here in this range. This is a breakout. What do you want me to do? I have no choice. Breakout, retest, buy the retest, buy the book. No other magic pill. Everything in between, manage that trade. Make sure that you don't lose anything. That comes down to leverage, as well as your timing, if you can be around at the right time, at the right moment. So what can I say? We have a setup and it's a buy. Breakout, what do? We buy the breakout on the retest. Retest is coming, maybe not, I don't know, but certainly I'm looking forward to one. And that's pretty much any sane trader would do or be ordered to if you're working for a firm, because the analyst will look at it and be like, yeah. Now there are other metrics in data. Now, for example, I know this is going to dump. Look at the analysis here, okay? MarketSpy is telling you that this cap, we're trying to go up, but the momentum, we're losing momentum like hell. So this is going to BART down, and so I'm accumulating and buying on a daily ATR. I know my average entry is going to be around here. It goes a little lower. I'll go another 1x here, bring my average lower, and then we'll see how it recovers and what resistance it might face on the way down. Goes back inside the triangle. I'm still buying it away from these lows. I think there's a low that's waiting for us here. I think these two connected also brings us back down to the retest of the triangle and the top of it. Makes sense? Makes sense. Let's go. Got to finish the job. I started off a little weak. You have to forgive me. I'm still in the recovery mode. So there you go. No matter if you draw the line here, it averages out just about. It doesn't matter. Just about here. This is the point. This is the point. This is the marked top where we want to be. So like this. That's the trade setup. We lose this and it goes down here. I'm still buying it to sell it at the previous cap top over here, because I know it's going to bounce away from this line. And it might take some time, but you're looking at a potential trade setup that is multi-day, but it is a confident one. It is 1 week. So weekly chart looking like the bearishness is fading a little bit, which is a good look. So maybe it goes down a little bit, slightly. 37, rests on it, comes back up. Want to see that recovery back to the 45s, 49s. And that's all we're doing. There's no magic for this. There's no good bad analysis. It is what it is. We had a breakout with volume, we had a compression, we had the bottoming out, we had the accumulation phase, and now Bitcoin is striving to go ever higher. And we have a whole bunch of greedy people plus tons of shorts that are sitting there and very little long play participation, like very few people that are long. Except now in this range, I'm looking that funding is starting to increase slightly. So I think a BART flush out down would be nice, but it might not even happen. It might not even happen at this particular moment. So this is a bull flag, right? Let's get it out of the way and make sure that we understand that we're looking at a bull flag that's actually closing in 40 minutes above here. A green candle is going to print another one. This is going to go up. For sure. Is it going to get faded in 30 minutes? Go back to 30-minute chart. Looks like it's retesting. It might get faded. It might get faded. But this is the second time that we've broken out above this line here. Maybe not. Remains to be seen. Momentum is extremely weak though. Yeah, I'm sticking to the plan. I'm not rushing into this. Want to be able to accumulate and buy. And that's the plan. Too early, guys. Too early. Where are you driving the price to? Too early. Bring it back down. That's not even... Citadel! Citadel is smart people. They have good algos. Why wouldn't we like them? I mean, they're out there to make money, right? And to be smart like them. And be like Musashi. Just follow the path. Burning villages from side to side. None of our business. Our path is where Bitcoin is showing us where it wants to go. CME gap 37,470, 38,705. Right about where we want to be. Buying, accumulating, etc., etc. Why not? It's been a while since we had... I miss Bitcoin where it just posts a little candle with a long wick, but not at the bottom or the top, like in the middle somewhere, you know, just to screw people over. Want to see that? Well, then they're not that smart now, are they? Never short AMC and GME. All right. So the plan is clear. Let's yeah, I don't know, Sykes. I don't know, man. I feel like that gap, like if everyone is looking at that gap, like feels very, I don't know. I mean, why not pump first and then come back for that gap, like later from like 47 up or something, you know? So that we can look back and say, knew it. We always come back for the gap, maybe not immediately, but eventually. But if we come back for it now, it's just way too obvious. But then again, what if that's the, you know, I didn't even know that we had a gap there. I'm not looking at gaps, but I know this is a retest area anyways. And that was a weekend breakout, right? That's another thing. That's why I left the gap there. It was a weekend breakout. So what the heck do we do with that information now? I don't know. It's the same to me. I don't know. Weekend or not. A breakout is a breakout is a breakout. Doesn't matter what day it is. But yeah, my trade is sitting right here, right on the gap, right on the neckline retest, and I don't think we made the target here yet. So do this, and I'm happy. Do this, and do this, and I'll average out, and I'll average out over here, and call it a day. Exit somewhere around here and be like, yeah, well, you know, we tried. Just do something. That's the most important thing. You have to do something, Bitcoin. Don't leave us hanging out here. That's what I'm saying. It's obvious, but it's been a while. I've got a itchy finger over here. I need to need to put on a trade. I'm gonna dump a few of my trades to Discord right now because I feel like this P&L wall. It was 2 days ago on the pump. There we have it. Little tiny trades, and basically I was part of the gap from 37 all the way to 39. But let's get a little coffee break, guys. I don't know. You're not sleeping? What time is it? Got the plan. Got the weapon. Deep in the pit. Ready to rumble. In the Bybit jungle. Let's grab some coffee. Take a little breako. Ladies and gentlemen, the office hours are coming to an end. Hope you enjoy the stream. Trade the plan and plan the trade. Well, we plan the trade. Of course. What else is there to it? Nothing but to do it. Give me the gap, give me a fill, and continue on your way. This is a breakout. We'll see more upside. If it's a fake out, we'll manage the trade as we normally do. Then yes, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, little boys and girls, I know nothing. vrcustoms.nl, especially for you. This thing is going to be recorded just like any other live stream in the future, because I figured it out, believe it or not. I have boomer I'm not a boomer, but I have boomer tendencies when it comes to tech. But we figured it out. This should be DVR'd. Okay? It's going to be on the YouTube channel. And you can review it later. Remember, for the giveaway, $1,000, one lucky winner. You don't have much competition. 20 viewers on the stream. 1 week later, when the video stream ends, comment, leave your Bybit ID that has to be registered with the link down below, and it must be active. It cannot be just registered now, and you have to be a spy. This is a club exclusive. It's the kind of privilege. You're the VIP here, so not the first, not the last giveaway, but to kick things off, I think it would be nice to add an extra K to your account, wherever you are, whoever you are. Much love. Thank you for sticking by. I hope you enjoyed. It's time to go feed my hamster, walk my dogs, pick up my kids, and do a whole bunch of other insignificant things outside of trading. And I'm gonna leave this running. Look, if this does not dip in the next 4 hours, I'm going all in. I'm going all in, and I'm just holding on to this position until it rips higher. If it doesn't, so be it. I'll show you how to manage it. 1x, 1.5 maybe. I'm not exceeding that. It's a principle thing. And what else? Yeah. Should be a fun week up ahead. What day is it? It's Wednesday! We made it halfway there. I'll congratulate you when it's Friday and you're still here. And with some gains under your belt. Until then, get that wallpaper. Trust me. Get the wallpaper. Get the Cryptopocalypse wallpaper too while you're at it. It's all in there. Just search for it. Adios, amigos. Merch.
Do not buy the merch. Don't buy the merch.
Seriously, don't buy the merch. It's... If you're a designer, hit me up. Other than that, this is just for the looks. One love. Happy trading.